Shimmy, shimmy, yay, shimmy, ya, shimmy, yo. Okay. Are you good, Bianca?
God damn it. I'm trying to find a good angle here. I don't want to show my kitchen. Corner.
People are only going to be looking at your edges, girl. That's all they're going to be looking at.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I swirled these bitches.
It's only my opinion. Coffee milk.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is Coffee Milk. It's another wonderful week. I have my wonderful hosts with me. I have Bianca. She's down there. Jacob is over there. I don't know if it's left or right. For me, it's my right. I don't know. Jake, is it like your left or right? Who knows?
To the right of you, but
anyways, welcome to the show, guys. This week we have a wonderful topic. I don't know if it's a wonderful topic, but I'm very interested in this topic. We're going to talk about relationships.
Ooh.
What?
Well, no, I was laughing because you said it's a wonderful topic, and then you were like, I don't know if it's a wonderful topic.
it's a shit topic, guys. It sucks. Love it.
as in, like, I don't know what the kind of conversation that it's going to provoke. You know, it could go very positive, or it could go like negative, where we're all like, "Fuck everybody we've been with." Like, you know, that's why I guess that's what I mean when I say that. But we're going to talk how to, I guess, maintain a successful relationship. And I guess why I'm a little hesitant, because I've never had a successful relationship. I don't think. Like, I've never experienced that. It's just me. I don't know. I'm broken. So I don't know how to. I don't know how to maintain a successful relationship. I don't think. And I feel like there's people that are all over the place. Like Bianca, I feel like you have held on. Like the person that you are married to, you've been with since you were in like high school, right?
Yep, freshman year, the end of freshman year.
And I always wonder how people are able to do that. Like, how do you hold on to someone? What do you do to make your connection that tight that through thick and thin, through all the problems, that person still wants to like put up with you? Like, it seems so. Jake is like, I don't know how that happens either. But it just seems. It seems so plentiful, yet it seems like some kind of a weird mystery. Like, I see other people doing it, and I'm like, how do they do it? And how can I get a part of that gang? But I still haven't figured that shit out.
Yeah. I don't know how much you want me to say right now. I got a lot to say on it.
You're the expert, Bianca.
Well,
really?
Well, Jake. Weren't you had a fiance, so you were about to be married for a little while.
No, it's way worse than that,
Clayon. Been with that person for a significant amount of time. So
yeah, relationships are a point of insecurity for me. I recently broke up with my fiance about 6 months ago, right before Corona. Obviously, that was very traumatic. I've also been married and divorced before, and you know, I'm 33, so it's not a point of pride for me. So I'm kind of the anti-Bianca in that way.
All right, I'm interested in your relationship. So you got married to someone. When did you first get married?
So I got married to an Egyptian woman in Egypt, and we had a very.
I think we hit on that.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we obviously were very close, but I wanted to leave Egypt because it was unsafe for me. And she couldn't get a visa to the United States. So the visa thing wasn't like far from our minds when we got married. It was definitely a consideration, but we were really in love. And that was probably the first big heartbreak of my life. And it was horrible.
You said you weren't really in love?
No, we were. We absolutely.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
How long did the marriage last?
It didn't last very long because we got married right before I left. We lived together for about 6 months in Egypt, 6 months, 9 months, and it was really great. But then I came to America, and she stayed there while the visa was working. And I think there were some trust issues. Distance is really hard.
On her end or your end?
It went both ways. But you know, it's just really hard. The big thing is with distance, it kind of put a wedge in our relationship. I think it caused mutual resentment. And just forgiveness is so important in relationships, both being able to forgive people and also not doing things that are unforgivable. And both, I've had two serious relationships in my life, one with my ex-wife and one with the woman I just broke up with this January. And in both cases, I think kind of a failure of forgiveness was on both our ends.
Yep. Bianca, to speak on that point, you've been in a relationship for a very long time, and clearly, like, forgiveness has to be part of that. Is that an easy thing to negotiate? Like, how do you, as a woman, how do you forgive us male when we keep messing up?
I don't. I don't.
Isn't that a problem?
I still bring shit up. You know what's so funny? Just the other day, I was telling Matt, I said, you know what? I'm still mad you didn't take me to prom. I'm still heated. Mind you, that was over 10 years ago. I'm still pissed. Because you know what? I went to my mom's house and she had a prom picture of me and the guy that I went with. And I'm like, this don't make no type of sense. Because I was with Matt at the time and he was happy to let me go. He was like, please, he thanked the guy. Please, take him. Please.
Who did you go with? Who did you go with?
Edgar. Yeah, so
anyway.
I'll edit that out. We're editing that out.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
That shit in. Yeah.
I want that in there.
And he went with me to junior and senior prom. So my mom has two pictures of me and Edgar, like, and I'm like, what the fuck? He was a great dancer though, so that was good. Like he won a lot of like Harlem Shake contests and whatnot, whatever people were doing. But or fucking Dougie.
What can I, Bianca? If you, why don't you allow him to go past that though? Why do you bring those things up?
No, I want you to remember. Remember.
Well, you can't do anything about it now.
Never forget. Never forget. But you do. I do know. I do move past things. Obviously. The thing about me though, like the thing about me specifically, and I think it's true for my husband. I don't want to speak for him, but I think it's true, is that we are just very committed people. Like we're like, commitment is not an issue for us. Like we're very like, when we find our people, those are our people. Like when we find somebody who we love, we don't let them go, you know? So through everything, like I'm just so connected to him that like, you know, it would take him doing something real crazy, like, you know, tell him, put your hands on me type of shit, which he would never. But
I mean, he would die.
Correct. I mean, I would rock him. Correct. I mean, that's whatever. But I think I'm just such a, like, I get attached to people, like, really easily. And we are very attached to each other. And not in, like, a weird way. It's just, like, no, like, this is my...
You're married. That's...
Yeah, so it's supposed
to
be...
You're married. Like, what do you mean not in a weird way? Like, you guys...
No, I mean, like, because some people have, like, an unhealthy attachment to people. You know what I mean? Like, where they're, like, what do they call that? Codependent, you know? Like, we don't need each other to...
You prefer each other.
Right. But we like each other. Like, we're just...
That's cool.
No.
I think that's one of my issues. I think finding someone who generally just wants to be around me and with me, even with all my quirks, right? I don't want to, I don't believe in sort of changing or adapting for other people. Obviously, if you have something wrong with you that you need to like change to be a better human, you need to get on that. But I don't believe in like, now all of a sudden I like this kind of sports because she's interested in guys who like sports. Like, no, I like what I like, and I want to find someone who wants to accommodate that, if that makes sense. Who like, I want to find someone who's okay with my stuff, and I can be okay with their stuff also.
Well, exactly. That's the thing. Like, Matt and I don't like the same things. You know, we like some of the same things, but like, for example, the prom example is such a big thing. Like, to me, like, that was a huge deal because I'm a very outgoing person, right? Like, I like going out. If I could choose staying in or going to the club, like I would choose going to the club. Matthew would never choose going out to the club.
But even in that moment, even in the prom moment, he allowed you to be you and you allowed him to be him, right? And that's why you guys maybe work, because you guys, even though you understood that he's in the house type of person, like he likes to be with the people that he's comfortable with, and you didn't try to change that. You just said, okay, fine, I'm gonna go do this thing that I enjoy with someone else, and he didn't get jealous and be like, oh no, you better not go. He was like, all right, cool, you go do that thing. I'm going to do the thing that makes me comfortable. So the thing I think what I'm hearing, even though you're upset with it, it's beautiful. You both allowed each other to be, it is from my end as a person who's been single for so fucking long. And you guys both allowed.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, you just have to like understand, like, I'm not going to change my partner. Like, sometimes there are things that I need him to go to. And that's a thing, like, with communication. Like, there are things where I don't need you to go. I didn't need him to go to prom with me. I had a great time with my friends. Prom is honestly a place where you it's better to be with your friends rather than worrying about your date who doesn't go to the school and all that shit. You know what I mean? But like, sometimes, like, for a family Christmas, you have to go to that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, you have to like make
that balance.
Yeah, you have to like balance it out and like, you know, say, okay, like, these are the things that I need you to go to, and these are things I don't need you to do, you know?
Hey Jake, what did you find difficult? What do you find difficult about being in relationships?
I mean, I'm typically a relationship person. Like, I don't like being single. But you know,
it's weird. It's weird that you say that because you don't come across as that type of guy.
Well, right now I'm a little jaded in terms of relationships because I'm trying to interrogate myself, and like, I think maybe this urge to jump into serious relationships might have caused me some pain in the past. And because it'd be one thing if I was like Bianca and I've had like 10 years of successful relationship under my belt, but you know, that's not the case. And yeah, I was reflecting. I don't know. I mean, I know with a big problem in the two serious relationships I was in is, in one case, I met her in another continent, in Egypt, and I did not want to raise children in Egypt. It's, you know, for a number of reasons, and that was sort of, she initially wanted to come to America, but when it actually became a reality, she decided not to. And that was a big breakup for our relationship. And subsequently, with my relationship that just broke up, we met in the DC area, and basically for job reasons, I kind of had to.
Question.
Yeah.
Before you got married, did you discuss the fact of where you wanted to raise kids, or where she wanted to raise kids? Did you guys have that discussion?
Yeah, I was very clear with about that. And I mean, one thing about Egypt is that, like, there were many women trying to marry me expressly to get to America because, you know, it's seen as a place of more opportunity. And so, yeah, we did talk about it a little bit. And, you know, she agreed that, because, like, intellectually, I think she agreed that it would be better if, all other things being equal, our kids would have better opportunities growing up in America than in Egypt. But then emotionally, when it came down to it, when it actually came, like, oh, wait, here's my airline ticket. She had never left Egypt before. She was living with her mom at the time. She was really concerned about what her mom would do without her. And I think that's another thing that comes up, not just in romantic relationships, but in business partnerships, everything. Like, it's very easy to make commitments to people. It's very easy to make plans. But then when it actually comes through, you know, they get complicated often. And that's what happened. You know, she changed her mind, and it was, you know, just a traumatic thing. We kind of resented each other over it, and it ruined the relationship. So, yeah.
So you say that you jump into relationships really. So do you feel like as soon as there's a woman that you like, you immediately want to like lock her down type deal?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just like having a partner. I don't really see it as locking someone down, but I mean,
I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I mean, I same with my non-sexual friendships. Like, I'd rather be with someone I really click with than like a bunch of people I'm not. You know, it just you know, I think it's, you know, some people want variety, some people want, you know, stability and quality, and I think I'm the latter.
Yeah, I think
I mean, my most recent relationship, you know, we had to call off the wedding. We spent a bunch of money on it. Like, she hates me now, you know, and she's really a great person. And both wanted the relationship to work out, but it didn't, you know. And so it's just sort of making me just reconsider how I am in relationships, you know, and just what's the best way for me to be. So,
I think that's important to sit back sometimes and reflect, you know, to sort of get everything in a row so that you can to see how you want to approach the next relationship.
yeah,
I think that is definitely important. But, yeah, especially if you know make. I'm not saying you made the same mistake, but if you feel like there's a pattern that's happening.
What about you, Clayon? Bianca and I are getting pretty damn specific. I kind of want to know what's going on in Clayon.
You didn't ask me. I'm asking you.
Well, we asking you now.
Yeah.
What are you asking me?
So what's up? Like,
yeah.
I said I've been single for mad long. I don't like.
Why you
the question?
single, though?
What's the question?
Why you single? What happened to your last relationships?
Why is a good-looking guy like Clayon single for so long?
Right.
With that fucking headband.
Yeah, headbands, nice dreads.
Just headbands.
My man was born buff. Like I never seen Clayon not buff.
So what was the question? I don't even know. There was multiple things being said. I don't even know. I was trying to like juggle all of them. I'm like,
well, I don't know. So you're single, but I'm assuming you're not bereft of female company.
No, I try. So I think I've gotten to the point when I was younger. I was a whore. I was like yeah, girls, women. And as I've gotten older, I realize that there's a certain type of energy that I want around me. When it comes to friends, when it comes to my mate, I want a certain calm, confident energy around me. I don't need someone like and it's harder to find that. And I also feel like I myself, because financially I'm not stable, I'm not confident when it comes to approaching women that I truly want to be with. So I settle for girls instead of going after women because financially I don't feel like I'm able to accommodate them. So that's why I'm single. I'm single because I know that the next relationship I want to be in, I want that to be like a serious relationship where we're talking about like a family, because that's what I eventually want in life. I eventually want to have my own sort of family. I want to have some kids. I want to have a wife. But I know that there's a specific type of person that I want. So I guess I'm trying to be as patient now, more now that I'm older than I was when I used to just go after and just, you know, whoever's available.
Right. That makes sense.
That's why
and
I'm
I
single.
think that's like how, like, honestly, like my success, like Matt and I found each other when we were so young. Like none of that mattered. I wasn't looking for someone who would be a good dad or like somebody who would provide for me financially. Like what did I care? I was 14, about to turn 15, whatever. Like he took me to McDonald's and I was like, he bought me like a Big Mac and I was like, oh my God, so romantic. He bought me something, like he paid $1.50. This is so cool. And like I didn't have any of those issues. Like I think now if I were looking for a mate, like I'd be picky as hell. Like I would you like that's so hard. Like I feel for you because I know I would have like a list of things that I'd want and it'd be so hard to find that, you know?
And the thing that I had to come into terms with is that I couldn't be mad at those women, those type of women, for being selective and wanting someone who will help provide. I totally get it. So I don't have like an ill will towards women because they want that from men. I just would like them to understand that with the way the economy is and the way that America is set up, that someone like me, it's so much more harder to find the kind of success that can accommodate a family and the type of things that I enjoy doing, because I'm the type of person that my job, I have to like my job. And it has to bring me something. If it doesn't, like I don't put as much into it and then I get in trouble there. So I know now as an adult that it has, so yeah, anyways, I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah, what I was saying is that I don't hold any ill will towards women who have that kind of standard. I want to get there. Trust me, I'm trying. I would love to get to that point. And so I guess I've learned to be patient and to just sort of continue to work until I get to the point where I feel like I am stable and I can bring something to the table other than just my dreads, like
Oh, you bring
That
more
physique.
other than
Yeah.
I tend not to burn in the sun.
I don't know, man.
So that's yeah.
And just to speak on what you were saying, in my last relationship, like my potential inability to be like a good enough provider did come up a lot, and it caused me a lot of insecurity, and just kind of harmed the relationship.
You did.
But one thing I've learned when I broke up with her and have started dating a little bit is that if there's a person who's not accepting any part of you, like regardless of what it is, like there are good people who will accept that with you, and it's there's a lot of fish in the sea.
The old proverb.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little fishies in the sea.
Yeah, and
all right, well,
to that point, I would just as advice, like I wouldn't try to wait until you get like your dream job or something.
Paper.
Like there's gonna be a woman who loves you, who doesn't need someone. Like you're not gonna start a family like right away. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Somebody, she's gonna fall in love with you. You guys are gonna lift each other up, and then once you get to that point, that's when you'll start your family and everything. Like I wouldn't wait. I think that you should. Well, let's maybe wait till COVID's over. But Jake doesn't care. He's down for the COVID. But I there's just some advice. I think that you're such a good guy, and I would love to see you with somebody who accepts you from where you at whatever stage in your life, and then you guys grow together. Like that's the dream,
Yeah, that is definitely the dream. I think that's a dream for everyone, to have a partner that you can sort of grow with. Even if you're at this level, they can help you rise, or you can both rise together. That is, that is super duper important. All right, well, that was our topic, guys. We dived into some deep relationship conversations. Now you know us a little more, guys. Look, we're just humans. Tears, sunshine, joy. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to move on to some news. We're going to get into some Rhode Island news. And I just have one story for you. So this show today, guys, I wanted to keep on a little bit on the lighter side. So we're not going to dive into anything too dark or too messed up. A lot of messed up things happened this week. And I don't know. My energy, I wanted to stay away from it. So bear with me, the show. So obviously the Rhode Island Department of Health on Monday, and that was August 3rd, reported 3 coronavirus related deaths, and said that 184 people tested positive for COVID-19. So that brings the total in the state to 1,010 deaths and 19,246 people who have the virus. So yeah, that's what happened.
Good God.
What did you say, Bianca? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying that's people who have had it, like people who may have gotten over it as well. That 19.
Yeah, the of known cases. So I guess people who had it, and maybe some of those people, I guess, have gotten over it. I assume.
Yeah. Oh, good God.
Maybe.
That's not great. I mean, I hope we can flatten the curve again.
Again.
Well, we did. I mean, we had a really bad Rhode Island locally. We had we flattened the curve after April, I think.
I don't believe in that you only in Rhode Island. Like, nah, Rhode Island's part of America. We never flattened the curve.
In America, nationally, we didn't. But the epidemic, it's moving through America at different rates.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, there's like someone calling in or something.
It's my Facebook Messenger. I'm gonna close Facebook out. It's my friend's dad. Very strange.
Sliding in the DMs.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I see that you've
I see your edges.
I'm highly concerned.
Your edges have been laid.
I'm gonna need him to leave me alone. Very strange.
But yeah, I mean, it's not good. I mean, I said it last episode. There's indoor dining in restaurants. It's probably not a good idea.
Dude, Gina just said that she's closed. You know what? Let me start by saying Governor Raimondo, because I call her Gina, and that's hella disrespectful, because if she was a man, I probably would call him by his last name, Governor whatever. You know what I'm saying? I gotta stop calling her Gina. But I think it's something about watching Martin when I was a kid. Anyways, but yeah, the governor said that she was gonna stop bar service at restaurants after 11 p.m. And it's like, ma'am, with the COVID comes at 11, at 10:59, no COVID.
No COVID, right.
But at 11, it's COVID time, baby. It's Corona time.
I think there probably shouldn't be bars open with rates rising, but there is something to be said. Supposedly people who are, for lack of a better word, shit-faced drunk actually spread it much more efficiently than people who are sober. So, I mean, obviously, I agree with you. I don't think that's enough.
I don't believe any of that science that you just laid out there. That all sounded like
well, I mean, a lot of scientists think that drinking in bars are linked to community spread more than other places.
Spread, yeah, because everyone's just there getting drunk.
And when you're drunk, when I'm drunk, I'm like in your face, like screaming. I'm the worst, and you know, like
losing your inhibition. Get out of here.
Yeah. Saying it.
Trying to kiss Clayon, you know, just.
Yeah,
like, yo, back up. No, Jake, I think you're cool. But come on, bro.
We're both single right now.
Calling everyone baby is terrible.
All right. We're gonna move into some random news. So, guys, the U.S. Secretary and Exchange Commission is investigating the circumstance around the Eastman Kodak Co.'s announcement of a $765 million government loan to make drugs at its U.S. factory. So, guys, we've given Kodak, yes, that's Kodak, the people who develop film, who make film for your cameras, and at one point made disposable cameras until there was digital cameras, and they didn't have a marketplace, and so they kind of a little. And now we're giving them money to make drugs to save our lives. Why?
I don't know. Perhaps.
Same company?
What?
Are we sure it's the same company?
Oh, it's the same company, Kodak. Yes, Kodak Co. Yes.
I mean, I don't know enough about.
We gave them millions of. What was that?
Maybe they can use the facility to make, you know, something involved with COVID medication. I don't know enough about it to criticize it. It might be bullshit, but it also might be, I don't know.
Really? So if there's a thing of like they gave Sears, you know, $700 million to also do that, would you be okay with that? Like, it doesn't. They're not the same. Like, Kodak has nothing to do with drugs. Don't we have other drug manufacturing companies here in the U.S. that we could have given that money to that already have facilities that make drugs?
Yeah, but maybe it'll be a beautiful. Listen, I'm not going to pass judgment. I agree with you. We might be reading some articles about it in the next few months when people will lose their jobs, but maybe it'll be a feel-good story. And this whole Kodak town will have transitioned to making medicine to save the world.
Right. We're going to start, instead of thinking about Kodak as a film company, we're going to start thinking about them as a pharmaceutical company. That's all of a sudden going to switch. And
I mean,
I can't believe. I thought you guys were.
Anyway.
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
I was saying I don't trust pharmaceutical companies anyway. So to be honest, you know, Kodak Black, the damn rapper, could be making my medicine for all I know. I don't know. You know?
Probably.
Shit.
Better Kodak Black than Pfizer, right, Bianca?
Kodak Black, what a problematic man.
Do any of you guys listen to Kodak Black?
Oh, I think he's a great rapper.
Of course I listen to Kodak Black. Clayon.
Yeah.
I think he hasn't come out with anything yet in a while, right?
Isn't he in jail? I think he's in jail.
I think he belongs in jail. I hesitate to say that about anyone, but I think he might be one of the real.
I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to say that. I don't think anyone belongs in jail. Blah, 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 boom. I said it. Damn it. Humans should be in jail.
People belong in jail. You don't think Donald Trump's ass belongs in jail? Put him under the jail.
I think Donald Trump belongs in a mental institute. I don't think he belongs in a jail. I believe his brain is damaged. He's not at the he shouldn't be leading anything. He could barely talk. He should be in a mental institute.
As long as they lock him up.
I don't think jails do anything for people. Huh?
It doesn't, but
It punishes people.
This is actually a good conversation about like who really deserves, because I agree that most people who are in jail probably should be in a mental institute if it actually is helpful. But some people, they ass belong in jail.
The thing is, jail only makes people who are not in jail feel comfortable. It actually doesn't do anything for society because those people are not getting better. They're learning to be they're learning to be worse criminals. Like jails don't do anything for society other than we on the outside, we're like, oh, at least they're in jail, so we're good. That murderer is in jail. I feel good about life. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
But truly, it's actually worse for society. We should be, a lot of those people, because of where they've grown up. Wait, I'm sorry. Because of those, some of those people because of where they've grown up or their circumstance, they have mental issues. When you see trauma a lot on a daily or weekly basis as a human, that's not good for your brain. And a lot of those people who are in jail, I think, were brought up in situations that affected them negatively. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't be.
So let's say the cops that killed Breonna Taylor, throw them in the jail cell, throw their asses under the cell. The cop that had his knee on or the cops that killed Elijah McClain, throw them in the jail cell. I'm done with them. I don't need them rehabbed, not no shit. I don't want to see their faces again. I think
you have a fair argument for people who are criminally insane, right? People who, I think those kind of cops, I think the cops who do that are the type of, like, it takes a lot to take away a human life. If you knowingly, soberly sit there and murder another human because you don't like them, because you don't like their skin color. Oh, sorry. I agree. If you are killing someone maliciously because you don't like the fact that they didn't have sex with you or something crazy, I agree that there should be, but I feel like before jail, there should be a mental evaluation, and I feel like there should be a combination of facilities that with those type of people, keep them incarcerated, but also give them help for their whatever the fuck they're dealing with. So I'm not even saying that those people should be free or they're out on the street or whatever. I just think the facilities that we have right now and the system that we have doesn't actually help in changing a person that is damaged. So why do we have a bunch of facilities like, what is it for if it's just to, like, if it's making them worse? I don't get it.
Listen, I mean, I think what you're right on that we incarcerate way too many people, and we basically use incarceration as like a way to warehouse people who we don't have a place for in society, which is awful, and we need to stop doing that. But of course, there are people, I mean, murderers, rapists come to mind, who it's not even about rehabilitating them. Like, at some point, you have to take them out of society to protect other people, and it's a really tough question. And the thing about mental asylums, if you've ever read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, it's a great book. And it's basically a pretty realistic, it's fictional, but it's realistic. And it's a documentation of when the 1950s and 60s, we did use mental institutions more than prisons. And it was a terrible situation.
But those
better.
But it's also about how those were ran, though. Those, even though they were mental facilities, they weren't ran like mental facilities. They were actually ran like jail. Like, I think that the majority of people, I guess my point is that the majority of people that are in prisons and the majority of people that are in prisons and in jail belong in a mental institute. There should be actually less people in jail and more mental institute to deal with people's trauma than there are jails, rather than the reverse, where there are like more jails than there are facilities where people can go get their head clear. It doesn't make any sense. There should be more of the opposite, because that's what's driving a lot of the crime. And that has been proven to help people more than jail. 100%, no matter what you're talking about, that's the facts. Mental institutes, as much as you're talking about back in that time, they didn't work. I personally think they didn't work because of how they were ran. But the way they were ran now, I think, is way more helpful. Think of the way we talk about people's mental health now. Back in the day, if you went to a therapy, people would be like, "Oh, you crazy." But now you can openly talk about going to therapy, and it's okay. So I think it's a changed era, and I think we would approach it differently.
I think that anybody who does a non-violent crime should definitely not be in jail. Definitely not. I think that even for people who do violent crimes, it depends on your story. Like, there's so many like reasons why someone would do a violent crime. Like, but for the people who, for example, like all I can think of is cops right now, right? Like the cop that put his knee on George Floyd for 8 minutes and whatever seconds. Throw him in the jail. I don't need him rehab. Toodaloo. I don't need him rehab. You're a grown man. You've had some sort of training. The cop training is not good enough, obviously, but you've had training. You have some sort of, I don't know, intellectual ability. Go under the jail cell for that.
I mean, we incarcerate people for three broad reasons, right? It's what Bianca is talking about, like just justice. Like, you're a grown-ass man, you should have known better, you shouldn't have killed him, that was wrong, you need to be punished, which is hard to define, right? Then there's protecting society, which is really easy to do. Like, we're good at that. Like, throw them under the jail, like kill them, maybe, like that's an easy thing to do. But then there's rehabilitation, which is like what Clayon's talking about with mental asylums and trying to make these people better. And whether we're using mental asylums or jails to try and do that rehabilitation part, that is a very, very difficult thing to do.
Yeah. And I think also, like, as an outsider, it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, like we should be rehabbing these people. But say it was your own daughter who got molested by somebody. Do I want that man getting rehabbed? Hell no. Throw him under the steps.
Well, my argument is, why is there one or the other? I think I agree with you. There's both. So that guy who did that, of course I would hate that guy, but I want that guy to be put away, but I also want that guy to be fixed in some way, shape, or form. I want that guy to deal with whatever, to find out why he feels the need to molest young women or whatever. So I'm not saying put him in a mental, like set him free because he might be mentally not there. I'm saying put him someplace where he can deal with that, because that's bad for our society. And we don't need that in our society. So let's try to find a way to fix that. I don't think putting him or her in a situation like a jail or prison, it helps me feel better because I'm like, oh, that motherfucker's away, he won't be part of society. But overall, it doesn't help society. Like, that's such a selfish feeling. And as much as it makes you feel good, it's still selfish, because you want him in jail for you to make you feel better about what he did. Not because it's good for.
A big reason you want that person in jail is so he doesn't hurt other children. And I don't think that's the hypothetical child molester. Like, I don't think it's selfish for me to be like, oh, he like molested that kid in a really severe way. Like, he's probably going to do it again. Like, we need to separate him from society. And like, I think that's
but then get him help also. Yeah. Why sort of getting him help like a terrible thing, him or her?
It's not. No, it's the ideal. It's not terrible. It's what we all want. It's just very difficult. Like, if you're talking about, like, and some people it's not, some people respond very.
What way though? In what way? What?
Just if you look.
I like to challenge these things when people say stuff like it's difficult. What makes it difficult specifically?
I mean, if you just like, I would need to look at statistics about reoffending, but like basically, like typically people who are not punished are people who are committing. I mean, with rape, for example, like. Most people who are like, most of the rapes they say are committed by a relatively small number of men who just are able to reoffend over and over again. And basically taking a person like that, who is like, that's what they're doing as a routine, like sexually assaulting other people, and like trying to sit them down and be like, even though most people know that that is not cool and that's beyond the pale, like we need to tell you. It's just very hard to make them see that, you know, and they'll tell you they see it, they'll tell you they're sorry, but like it doesn't mean it's true, you know. And we're just creating genuine change of consciousness is hard, and it's hard to systemize.
Yeah, and I guess like, that's the other thing too is like I agree with you, Clayon. I think that there should be a lot of mental health help in jail, you know, but that's going to cost a lot of money. And do I want my tax dollars rehabbing people who have?
We don't even know specifically where our tax dollars go.
No,
that argument makes me mad because we don't.
Right. No, you're right. I'm just saying that's just an issue that I just brought up. And on top of that, this also brings up the point is like, so does that mean that we're going to release this person at some point? To me,
No.
like anybody who goes to jail, and I really feel like they belong in jail, like I don't really think they should get out until they're old as fuck and can't do anything. They're, you know, they can't do anything anymore anyways because they're old as fuck, you know? If you punch them, you know what I mean? That type of thing. Because I, like, if I really think that you belong in jail, you did something really terrible, you know? Like, I don't think
people...
Go ahead.
Sorry. You don't think people have the capacity to change, though?
It's complicated.
I think that a rapist, a pedophile, like they're generally like just sadistic people, and that is kind of who they are to the core. I could not put my faith in that person that they're not going to do it again. Like I said, until they get to the point where their dick doesn't work anymore, you know what I mean? Or something like that, like to the point where it's like, I know you did not just touch me and I can go like that, and he's just going to crumple up like, you know, one of those skeleton people in Mario. I want you to be like that. Like I want you to fucking go to ashes, that type of thing. Other than that, like, I can't trust you. I can't trust you. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think of course people can change, and I think probably we have all in our lives changed, and probably we can, like, we used to hold opinions in the past that we're like find abhorrent now, and maybe even have done things. I know I've done things in the past that I really regret. I would never do again, you know. But that being said, like some people don't change, and I don't know what changes people who do make positive, like why some people do make positive change and why some people don't. But to expect an institution to do that with like the most dangerous people in society, like I think we should expect them to do that, and we should expect them to effort. But it's
I'll say this point and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
I think I believe in change because I know that there are different points in my life that I could have been a totally different person than who I am. And the reason I am who I am is because of all the people who contributed. And I feel like if those people didn't contribute at the time that they did, I wouldn't be the Clayon that you see right now. When I was younger, I was way more angry. Things would I would go off in a second. People were patient with me. They allowed me to mess up, and specific people, I'm talking about like someone like Dorothy. They were patient with me. They allowed me to fuck up and learn from that. They didn't see as soon as I fucked up, they didn't just like cast me aside and just be like, oh, get the hell out of here. You're never gonna be anything, right? They gave me the chance to fuck up and learn from it and evolve as a human. If I didn't have that, I don't know, I would probably still be a really angry human being. So I guess I look at it from
Clayon is that you were a kid, and kids are allowed to fuck up. You know what I mean? That's what
I think
is. And
humans are flawed.
Absolutely. But like when you're a kid, and I would consider someone a kid like up until they're like probably 25, let's be clear. But like you're allowed to fuck up, you know what I mean? And you are growing. Like your brain is still like growing. And like those people, Clayon, like knew your heart. Like you are very like I don't know how to say it. You're easy to like get to know. Like you have a big heart. You wear your emotions on your sleeves, and that's not in a bad way. Like when people know you, they can tell right away you're a good person. You know what I mean? And good people are allowed to make mistakes. But there are some motherfuckers out there.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, hell no.
We have a problem in America with over-incarceration. So when Clayon is saying that like young kids are getting railroaded into jail and juvenile facilities and it's completely ruining their life over some bullshit, like that's definitely true. And a national tragedy, and it really should be looked at. So yeah, I don't want to act like we should be putting more people in prison, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, and like, let me make my point clear. Like, again, like, I think that children, for sure, like, even if you've done like the nastiest of crimes, you need the best therapists out there, and I do think that you deserve a second chance. I really do. Most of the time. I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard, man. Those school shooters and shit.
It is. Because I don't think
we have them back on the street.
Yeah,
boy.
I don't.
It's a touchy subject, man.
It is, but I agree. I agree. It is complicated and all that. But anyways, we're gonna move on to something else. So this might be a good news for you guys out there, Jake specifically, maybe. I know Bianca's more responsible. So this fall, Oregon might be. Sorry, let me start that again. This fall, Oregon might become the first state in the nation to decriminalize drug possession, my friends, and that's any kind of drug. It's called Initiative 44, which will be on the ballot in November, and it would end criminalization of simple drug possession, a small amount of all drugs, and they would just basically penalize you by charging you $100 if you got caught with
Not all the police stations decriminalize drugs. We got to move to Oregon, guys. We should base this podcast in Oregon.
Yeah. No, I think that's great.
I do too.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about drug enforcement. Obviously drug enforcement is horrible. This will probably have a net plus effect, but like it also would be bad. I mean, heroin, methamphetamine, crack cocaine, like these are all things I don't approve of, you know. And
how do we call this the land of free and the home of the brave if we don't allow people to freely do what the hell they want with their lives? Like, no, I don't give a shit. Like, as much as I care about people, I believe that people should have the right to choose whatever the fuck they want to do. If you want to go and take a bunch of heroin, all right, bruh, you go do that. But
I see that argument. I see that argument. And also drug enforcement is like one of the worst things in this country. You know, like the way we enforce drug laws, especially minor possession, it's like one of the most racist things in policing, one of the most classist, and yeah, I mean, it's really a red flag, a center point for all this badness. So yeah, I mean, I understand why they're doing it. It'll be interesting to see how it'll affect things. I just hope drug abuse rates don't go up. You know,
what?
But
I just hope that heroin and methamphetamine rates don't go up. I'm not saying it might not, but I hope it doesn't.
I think we've seen in other countries and like European countries that the exact opposite happens actually.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, there have been studies.
Awesome.
There have been studies, absolutely.
Where's that story? Amsterdam, I think it is, where weed is legal and shit. I think it's
the big one
there's literally every drug is legal and they sell all that shit on the street, but you don't hear an outbreak of chaos in Amsterdam where society's breaking down and like it's
a big study was in Portugal. In Portugal, they found that most of the heroin dealers were heroin addicts, and if they gave the heroin addicts in Portugal they literally started giving heroin addicts heroin, like they gave them a stipend. It wasn't even like they legalized it. And they stopped selling heroin, and it actually reduced the rates of overdoses, and over time reduced. They had this was in Portugal though, and in Europe they have whole social safety nets and stuff. So we don't know what it's like in Oregon, but I'm up. Hopefully it'll be good. Yeah, hopefully.
If you think about crime, a lot of the crime are based around drugs. It's based around these shady groups of dudes selling these drugs that are illegal, and that's where the majority of our crime comes from. If you eliminate that, it's like it doesn't matter. Like then there won't be that element. So I think, man, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I think $100 is a great little fine. I feel like every state should be moving in this direction. And I'm just about that marijuana, and I'm like I've never taken any other drug in my life, but I'm still for this personally.
Me too. I think it's
All right, so positive Black woman story today. Joy Reid is making history as the only Black woman hosting a primetime cable evening news show. So congratulations to Joy Reid. I don't know if you guys know who Joy Reid is. I don't know if you've ever seen AM Joy, MSNBC. Wonderful. Anyways, congratulations to Joy Reid. I think that's amazing.
That is
Googling her
amazing.
now.
Huh?
I'm Googling her. Never mind, go on. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. So we're gonna move into a news segment. I feel like every week I'm coming with a new segment, and it's called "And I Quote." And in this segment, what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna read a quote from someone, something someone said this week, and the quote is from Zoe Saldana. I don't know. Do you guys know who Zoe Saldana is?
Yes, a track
No? Okay.
actress, right?
Well, this is what she said. She
Avatar.
said, "I should have." I'm sorry. Yes, Avatar. I feel like we're on a delay. It's weird. But
I
anyways.
think you're on a delay because no, you definitely are. You definitely are.
It said, so I should have never played Nina. I should have done everything in my power with the leverage that I have had 10 years ago. So basically what she's talking about, she's saying that she should have never played Nina Simone. I don't know if you ever seen, there was a movie Nina Simone out in 2016, I believe. It was a biopic. And I don't know if you know Zoe Saldana. She's a very light-skinned Black Afro-Latina because she's Dominican and Puerto Rican. And there was a whole controversy about her playing Nina Simone because Nina Simone is a lot darker than she is. And her facial features are different. And so there was a whole thing. And so now I guess she's regretting playing that role, and she's saying that she should have never played the role. And I get that. I understand the conflict at the time and people feeling a little upset. And clearly I feel like at that time she should have listened, but it's good that she's now coming back and being like, I get maybe why I shouldn't have played the role. So it's a whole big conversation about colorism. Even like it permeates, I guess, through the Black community too, with where people, how people want to see gay people play gay roles. They want to see darker skinned Black people play darker skinned roles, like characters, and vice versa. So I don't know, it's kind of weird as an actor, because in my mind as an actor, I think like part of an actor is becoming these things, right? But I feel like the reason why it's now a big issue is because for the longest, Hollywood would refuse to put the right race. One of the most famous movie with Al Pacino, he's supposed to be a Cuban dude. Isn't Al Pacino like Italian or some shit?
Or every Native American in Westerns were played by Italian dudes. Like Italian dudes who moved from Brooklyn, grew their hair out, and started playing Native Americans.
Oh my God.
Right. So it's sort of all coming into focus right now. I feel like it's even hitting our community, the Black community, where clearly people are asking for the right to representation. I think it's important. I think it's cool. I don't know. I don't think we're crossing the line yet. I don't know. What's your opinion on this? Any opinions? No, none.
I mean, I think that, yeah, I think that, a lot of times dark-skinned Black women aren't put on a pedestal as being important and beautiful and everything else. And so I think that, of course, it should have been a darker skinned, actual Black woman playing Nina Simone. Sure. Am I going to make a big deal out of this? Nah. Like, it's a biopic. I don't even think it did that well. Let's
but I think it didn't do that well.
It did?
No, I was gonna say I think it didn't do that well because of the fact that.
Because of that.
Because I love. I don't know if you listen to Nina Simone.
Oh, she's amazing.
I don't. I know her music. I don't actively.
You're missing out.
I don't actively listen to her. I mean, I'm pretty ratchet. As you know from our old radio show.
She's more of a
not
Kodak Black fan.
necessarily.
Yeah, I
can't
get it.
really twerk to her music, and so like,
I get,
you know what I mean?
I get it. Strange fruits from the
Yeah,
pop-up
that's
tree.
strange fruit.
From the pop-up tree. Black bodies in the summer breeze. Like, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Then you
no.
clap.
I get why that would be offensive.
That's hella disrespectful. Of that.
Yeah, man, that's getting it.
We're gonna move on to another new segment, guys. Yeah. Jake is like, I'm not participating in this black body.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah, no, Strange Fruit's a terrible.
It's a beautiful song, though.
No,
I love
it's
it,
a
man.
beautiful song. I'm saying it's terrible to twerk to. You can't. That's not okay.
Oh yes.
For the record, everybody.
I feel guilty even discussing this stuff.
And wait, it also
You could've picked
changes
a
the
different
meaning
song
when
of
you're
her.
like.
God damn it.
It also changes the meaning when you're like black body swinging in the summer breeze when you're over there to your ass is just
Oh my
swinging.
god.
Yeah.
This is all getting mocked. This is all getting
Okay, all right, sorry.
Let's move on and pretend we never did that. That's really disrespectful, and I hate myself.
Okay, so this.
I'm not laughing with Clayon. I'm laughing at Clayon.
To be clear.
I'm sorry. Go on.
That's fine. I'll take the grunt. That was okay. We're gonna move on to a new segment called "One's Gotta Go." One's gotta go. So basically, I'm gonna give you 3 artists this time around. I decided to just go out and just do. First, let me explain the game. I'm gonna give you 3 artists, okay, and we have to discuss one of these guys. We have to agree as a group. They have to go. That means their album, their song, whatever it is, never existed. They never existed as an artist. We never got to sort of listen.
Yes, people always post these on Facebook, and it'll be like one has to go, and it'll be like different types of potatoes, or like whatever. It'd be like sweet potatoes, fries, or tater tots. One's gotta go. See you later, sweet potatoes.
Sweet potato for sure.
Oh, I love sweet potatoes.
Let's
go on.
So we're gonna do artists, and the 3 artists I have for you guys: Beyonce. We have Beyonce. We have Michael Jackson, and we have Whitney Houston. I just wanted to start there. Might as well get everyone mad at us right off the beginning. And if you don't know Beyonce, some of her records, "Dangerously in Love," that was a nice.
If you don't like Beyonce, just throw yourself away. You don't know any Beyonce songs? Throw yourself away. I don't know.
B-Day was an album. I Am Sasha Fierce, 4, Beyonce, Lemonade, and the newest one, Black is King, which I don't know if you guys listened to. I didn't.
I haven't heard it yet.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I still have to listen to it.
And there's also Michael Jackson, who has a tons of record from Thriller to Bad, Dangerous, love songs, all of that stuff. Whitney Houston. The one thing I've noticed about Whitney likes to put her name in a lot of her albums. The first one is Whitney Houston, and then there's Whitney. There's another one called Just Whitney. So it's she went very just you. This is who I am. So those are the 3 contenders, guys. We have Michael Jackson, Beyonce, and Whitney Houston. Which one of those would you eliminate from our whole life? Would you never want to hear again? That's what you're saying. If you say one of these guys got to go. If you say someone like Beyonce, who is giving us lots of hits, we Say My Name, there wouldn't be that. That the whole Lemonade album.
This is a real tough one.
Yeah,
because I like all these artists. Obviously, we can't disappear Michael Jackson. He's cancelable.
That's a for sure thing. It's definitely between me and Beyonce.
I mean, there would be no Whitney Houston or Beyonce without Michael Jackson. I think that's pretty cool.
Right.
I'm kind of torn between Beyonce and Whitney Houston, because I'm pretty sure Beyonce would admit that she was very influenced by Whitney Houston. But that being said,
and Michael Jackson.
And Michael Jackson, both of them, yeah. But I think Beyonce, she's just kind of been very innovative lately. Like Lemonade, not lately, but Lemonade, I think really changed the way music videos were made. And she's had such, like you said, she has such a crazy long career. Like if you include Destiny's Child, all that. Whitney Houston, she had one really good album and like 2 or 3.
Aww. Oh no.
That's not true. That's not true. I have one. Whitney Houston, I feel like her career peaked earlier than Beyonce's. And
But that voice,
it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I'm
better
to say this.
than Beyonce's and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean,
If I was gonna go, sorry, my delay. I don't know what's going on with me.
yeah, go for it.
If I was gonna say voice wise, I would say Whitney voice is the best. Then I would probably go Michael, then Beyonce. Is that blasphemy to say that? Like,
No.
Hard to compare,
I would say
but-
voice wise, like that's where I would go.
Oh, definitely voice wise, Whitney Houston is. I mean, she's just one of the best of all time, ever. You know. But I think as far as actual songs that I love,
Mhm.
it's crazy because Whitney Houston used to be my absolute favorite. Sorry, grandma's calling.
It's all right.
Damn it, grandma. She used to be my absolute favorite when I was little. Like, literally, like I wanted to be her. So it's hard for me to say this, but I think she gotta go.
Who, Whitney?
Yeah, it's
I
got.
agree.
I think
Jake,
I.
are you
have to say
agreeing?
Michael.
Are you agreeing?
It's
with
like
that?
choosing between my children, but between Whitney and, I mean, obviously it's not going to be Michael, and between Whitney and Beyonce, I think I'm going to have to choose Whitney as
So
my,
you weren't here, and I hope you all that, and now, like none of that. You like that. Literally, you would only hear the Dolly Parton version.
I say a prayer with. Yeah, I love her, obviously.
But also, you can hear a lot of Whitney songs as long as we keep Shaka Khan around.
Really?
She stole a lot of Shaka Khan's music. I'm not gonna lie. You can look it up, but she's amazing, and I'm sad to see her go, but she gotta go.
Wow. All right. I guess I will go along with you guys. It is. I would agree. I guess out of all, like, I would rather listen to a Michael Jackson album and a Beyonce. Like Lemonade is my favorite Beyonce album, and I'm not like a. I haven't listened to a lot of Beyonce albums, but that album particularly was just beautiful. So no, yeah, I would agree with you guys. Whitney's gotta go. She's out of here. All right, we're gonna move on. This is also a new segment, and it's called Clayon Doesn't Understand Rap Lyrics, guys. So I am dumb. Sometimes rappers, they say lyrics, and I don't get it. I don't even understand. I don't understand what they're saying, and I feel like you guys are expert. Like you're saying, you're into some of these ratchet songs. So I feel like you two would be really good at explaining some of these lyrics to me. So I have 3 lyrics that I need you guys to take turn and explain what they're trying to say. So the first lyric is going to be from T.I., and the song is Whatever You Like. And this is the lyric. I got rubber band banks in my pocket. So I don't know what that means when he says he has
Come
rubber
on, Clayon,
bands.
don't be coy.
Yeah,
You don't-
rubber bands.
I'll give this
bands
to you,
in his
Bianca. I'll
pocket.
let you take the easy one, Bianca.
Yeah, that means he has lots of money.
In
How? What do you
bands.
mean?
In rubber, you know, when you have a lot of money in cash, you gotta wrap it with a rubber
I
band.
have read and watched in documentaries that when you are selling narcotics and you can't invest your money in a bank, you often rubber band them up in denominations.
Okay, but
Them.
how many rubber band do you need though? I would think if you have, because if you think about it, if you have a pocket and you have a stack of money in there, you would need 1 rubber band. So why would you have rubber bands in your pocket? Wouldn't you just have
that's a good
rubber
question, Clayon.
band in your pocket?
No, that's a good question, Clayon. The reason for that is because everyone's different, but you do it in different denominations. So if you're just going with your buddies to get a beer, you'll take 1 rubber band. But if you're taking Shorty out, getting her whatever she like, you're gonna be like, what?
Right.
3, 4. Like, you know, that was still.
So wait, let me also. So do you have stacks of like ones in rubber bands, or is it like do you have like how are you have? But this is what I mean. Like, do you have like $10 worth of ones in like a rubber band, and you just
If
have
you're
like
broke,
if you're paying
if you're
people,
T.I.,
here's a
those are
stack
20.
of ones for this. Here's a stack of.
Well, one thing people would do is they would stack up a bunch of ones and then put a $100 bill over it, and then,
Right.
so it looked like you had like fucking thousands of dollars, and you had like $120. So that was something
Right.
people did, but no, normally it would be like, you know, you would do it like.
I think he needs to. I think he needs to change this lyric. I still think it needs to be. I got rubber band banks in my pocket. I feel like I still don't. I hear what you're saying. I think you guys
Your
might
man
be
is a
right.
plural. It should be
That it is
singular. I
that.
see.
But
Oh my
yeah.
God.
All right. We're gonna move on to the next song. So this is the artist Birdman and Lil Wayne, and the song is "Stuntin' Like My Daddy."
My favorite
And
song.
the lyric. This is the lyric. It ain't my birthday, but I got my name on the cake. Now, that doesn't make sense to me because if it's not your birthday, why would you have your name on someone else's cake? It's their birthday. Isn't it like disrespectful to put your name on someone else's cake? You going like, Bianca, you invite me to your birthday party, I just come over and just be like, Clayon. Like that's not nice. So I don't understand what he's trying to say. Why would you do that? Okay, would you like to explain, Jake, please?
You want to get this one, Bianca?
I don't listen, man. Like when you're stunting so hard, like it's like every day's your birthday. You know?
No, I think you guys are misunderstanding. I think he's using cake as a slang term for money, and he's saying, "I got my name on the check." So T.I. was operating in mainly a cash economy. Lil Wayne has moved on to a mixed cash money millionaire and check-based economy, I believe.
Yes.
So wait, is he saying that he's writing his name on your money? Like now it's my money? Is it like a thing like, yo, that $20 bill, Clayon, now it's my 20? Is that
I think
what
he
saying?
says when I get like the $100,000 check, it's got my name written on it. I think that's what he's saying.
Ooh.
All right. That's weird. That's weird that he would say it like that though. All right. I have one more. Huh?
He is a rapper. They say weird things.
I have one more song for you guys. And this is from Cameron, and the song is He Tried to Play Me. I don't know. I've never heard that song from Cameron. He Tried to Play Me.
It's a good one.
Never heard it. The lyric goes the lyric goes, "You're on the internet pricing." I don't know what that means. I assume when he says that, like you're on the internet, like you go to Amazon and you're just like, oh shit, that's $50, and you write it down. You're like, oh man, that TV, that's $500, and then you like write it down. So you're like on the internet, just checking all the prices.
Do you have more of the lyrics available?
No, that's the part. That's the quote right there. I don't know. There's more of the song, but I just want that lyric. Just confused me from the get-go.
You're on the internet pricing?
You on the internet pricing. So I don't know what he's trying to say in that moment to someone. If they're on the internet pricing, like, are you on the internet? Like,
maybe he means that they're like on the internet looking for deals, and I can just spend my money however, no matter how much the price tag.
Right. Oh, like you weak because you on the internet pricing. I don't need to be pricing on the internet. I don't even care what they cost.
Look at the tag, dog. We just caught this shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, like fuck that tag. Bianca's right. I think Bianca's right. I think you're right, Bianca. It's like, yo, fuck that shit. You on the internet pricing? I ain't about that life. I just charge that shit. I just be like, yo, I want this. Boom, got it. All right.
Dipset has never given good financial advice. Never in their given good financial advice.
Right.
Well, I appreciate you guys helping me out with those rap lyrics because I just sometimes I get really confused and I don't even know what people are saying. So thanks. So right now it is time for you guys to convince me of some stuff. Oh my God, wait, I don't even think oh yes, I did. I did have something. So in this portion of the show, guys, I have a couple of things. I have 3 things. I may only have 2 things today. And I need these guys right here to convince me that I should get it or have it in my life. Because sometimes I don't really know if I need these things. I see other people with it and I think I should have it, but I'm really confused. So Bianca, were you against or for last week? I don't remember.
I was for.
All right, so Bianca's going to be against this week, and that means Jake is going to be for. And we're gonna have Jake. You're gonna be prepared to start first, so get your mind rumbling. Jake, you're gonna have to convince me why I should go and get some sushi. Why is sushi good for me? Why should I, when I'm going to the grocery store and I pass by the frozen fruit section, is that where sushi is? I don't even know. I should probably spend
no.
some of my money on sushi.
All right. First of all, don't buy your sushi in the frozen food section, but
Ew.
you should buy
Okay,
sushi.
cool. All right, got it.
So first of all, it's like a really, after you work out, it's a really complete meal. You got your carb, you got your seaweed with all that vitamins, and then you got some clean, lean fish protein. And fish, we really don't eat enough of it in this country. It's linked to a lot of good health outcomes. Almost all these good diets you hear about, whether it's Mediterranean, Japanese, that supposedly lead to long life, all based on fish. And people are often afraid of eating raw fish, but with the techniques they have with, quickly transporting the fish, freezing it, it's actually very safe.
Okay,
I love sushi.
I appreciate that. Bianca, why should I stay away from sushi?
Because it's nasty as fuck. First of
What do you mean? Why is it nasty as F? Like, what about it?
First of all, there's raw fish. Like, let's be clear, the feeling of raw fish in your mouth, it's not a good mouth feel. It's kind of hard to chew through. The seaweed is also not easy to chew through. Very strange. Smells like ass. It leaves me feeling still hungry afterwards.
I hear you.
Not very filling. A little
Like
roll.
a small little thing.
Yeah, it's hella expensive, and you may or may not get E. coli. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, I don't want to risk it. Plus the mercury, and not Freddie Mercury. I'm talking about the kind that does bad stuff in your body. I would not recommend.
I hear you. Thanks, Bianca. Much appreciated. I think I agree with Bianca, man. Like the texture, those slimy, like raw fish. Like I'm from
You
an
guys are
island,
Philistines.
but we like our fish nice and seasoned and cooked. Put on the fire. Even just put in some foil paper and put it over the fire with some peppers and stuff in it. That's simple. Just put it over some hot flames. So that's why I'm gonna go.
For the record, I like seafood. I
Bianca.
like sushi.
It smells like ass.
All right, next we're gonna go with our artists. Ellen DeGeneres is the artist. So Bianca, please convince me why I should not want Ellen on my TV anytime soon.
Well, it
Please.
seems like the media has already helped me out with that one. Apparently, she's very hard to work with, and she has a toxic work community. I can't speak on that. I never worked for her or with her or anything like that. But it seems like people don't like her. There's a lot of people coming out about her. She also I've heard she has some sort of connection to Epstein. I'm not quite sure. She may or may not have been on his rapist island. I'm very confused by it. I don't know. It's very strange to me because I didn't think that she would be anything like that. But you never know.
Bianca's making things up, folks.
What?
Is she really associated with Epstein? I'm looking that up. I'm fact checking.
Okay, look it up. Okay, fact check that, because I ain't trying to talk bad about her if it's not true. Well,
I haven't heard the.
Alleged, anyways. It's all alleged. She's also really not that good at dancing. Let's be clear. Just because she's white and she somewhat keeps a beat does not mean that she's good at dancing.
That part.
The Epstein thing is not true.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, but it was a rumor, was it not?
It was a rumor, yes.
Okay.
All right, Jake, why should I ignore everything that Bianca say and still watch on a daily the Ellen DeGeneres show?
Okay, Ellen DeGeneres is just a boss bitch, and the media is coming for her because the media is misogynistic. She would not let people eat gross fish salad in her workplace, She's serious about her work. Like, whatever. If a dude was doing that, he'd be getting fucking promoted. We'd be giving pats on the back. There are all these crazy stories about her saying she was like with Epstein, all bullshit. And yeah, she's just a boss-ass bitch. She's a groundbreaking LGBT icon. And, we gotta give Ellen some love.
All right. I love what you have to say, Jake. All right, but I think the winner of this argument is Jake, fuck all you people on the internet. Ellen hasn't proven that she's a villain. If anything, she's only showed us that she's been a kind-hearted person. Why are we all of a sudden fucking switching on her because some people said she was tough? She's a goddamn boss. Sometimes bosses have to be tough. God damn it. She's a woman. She's leading that shit. Sometimes you have to crack a couple of fucking whips.
She starts doing a monster, real talk. I wouldn't want to work with her.
I heard Anne Hathaway's a real bitch.
Who?
Anne Hathaway.
Interesting. I mean, she's like the.
It's so random. It's so random, but I heard that. Anyway, but yeah, I'm sick of people calling women bitches when they wouldn't say the same thing about men. Doing the same actions. You know what I'm saying? Nicki Minaj has a great interview about that. How like Lil Wayne would come and be like, "Hey, you better have my photographer ready on time," and they'd be like, "Yes, sir." And Nicki Minaj be like, "Hey, you better have my photographer ready on time." They're like, "Oh, you bitch." But yeah, I don't know. I really gotta I really want to follow this whole Ellen situation because I'm super curious to know like what is true and what's not true. You really don't know people, you know? Like
you don't, but I can't switch on you all of a sudden because a bunch of people are talking if I've had if my interactions with you have been different. Like I just feel like we need to
interactions with Ellen DeGeneres.
And hear the whole thing.
He had her over for dinner. So sweet.
Oh no, you're right. I agree with you.
I don't know. My whole thing is all messed up. All right. That's our last one. I didn't have a third one this week, but there's something that I want to suggest. Last week I suggested something funny for you guys to check out. I do want to suggest this really cool music video. I'm Jamaican. There's this Jamaican artist. Her name is Savannah, and she has a song called Mango, and it's a wonderful song. It's a sexy, seductive song. So please go check that shit out. She's a beautiful ass Jamaican woman, and give her all the views, our 3 viewers. So before we end the show, guys, I like to always try to convince Bianca to love birds a little bit more because, guys, Bianca does not like birds whatsoever. She's specifically inside her house because she didn't want to deal with the birds. I don't know if you saw the other couple of weeks of show, she was out on her porch chilling. She decided to change a whole location just because she wanted to avoid birds. So that is why at the end of the show, I always have to try to convince Bianca that birds are really cool. In this segment called Bianca, birds are like really cool. So the bird for this week, Bianca, is the goose. I don't know if you know this, Bianca. In ancient times, there's ancient stories that tell how flocks of white geese raised the alarm when Rome was attacked. So back in the ancient times, Bianca, geese, they were used to as alarm. They helped us. They helped alert us to danger. They were by our sides to make sure that we were safe, Bianca. Birds, geese. So I can't think of anything more compelling. I can't think of a more compelling story to tell you, to convince you that birds, especially geese or goose or whatever you want to call them, they're really cool. And
from now on, I'm calling them geeses.
It's just geese. It's just geese. One goose, many geese. But no, that's not helpful at all because there's something called dogs. You know, there's something called dogs that are probably much more helpful and much cuter.
But
not
how are they
gross and disgusting?
Have you ever seen a baby goose? They're the most adorable things. They're so fluffy. Like they're just so like awkward looking. Like it's the most. How is that not adorable? And the fact that they're helping us out in ancient times when we didn't have these alarm systems, we had goose and geese.
Well, we also had dogs, and they could have helped out. You know what I mean? A good golden retriever. You know what I mean? Get you a pit bull if you want. Sound the alarm. My dog, a husky, you know what I mean? He will do his thing. I don't need a geese. I don't need geese. I don't need a goose. They're
Think
About
about all-
pieces.
I might need
Do you, Bianca, do you have one of those alarm systems? What do they call them? Where you like have on your door, you have to like put in a code or whatever. Do you have like alarm system for your house?
Yes.
Think about the money you could save if you just got a goose. You could just replace all that with a couple of goose at different entrance points, and you're gravy. All you have to do is feed them like seeds or whatever they eat. I don't even know what they eat.
Just surround your house with dangerous birds that will attack people. I think that sounds like a great solution for
They're
Bianca.
not dangerous.
We'll just
Geese
shit
will fuck you
everywhere.
up, Clayon. Geese are dangerous. They poop everywhere. I'm pro bird, anti goose. I'm with Bianca on the geese.
Yeah, and you know what's really awful? Goddamn swans.
They're
Like
basically the same fucking thing.
evil. Yeah, they are. Swans are evil. You're like, oh, so beautiful. And next thing you know, they're coming out the water. Oh, hell no. No, I don't like the geese. I don't like swans. I don't like none. I don't like
Also,
nothing.
geese have man-sized shits. They're like little guys, but they're it's like the size of mine.
Facts. It's disgusting, bro. I really don't like them. The ugly little duckling, they're all ugly. They're all ugly.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll be back next week, Bianca. I'm not giving up. I'll be back next week with another bird, with some more information, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to convince you that birds are really cool, Bianca.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much for joining us this week on this silly, ridiculous show. We appreciate it. We appreciate your views. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell more friends that we have a pretty cool show here. Do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, share, give it away now. Give it away.
It's only my opinion. Coffee milk.